All right, let's get right into this story. So, I went to college that was a few towns away from my city, and that college I graduated from 2018, May 2018. And so it's been about almost 2 years since I've been out of college. But during my sophomore year of college, first semester, was when I met multiple different kinds of friends that I started hanging out with, right? I was in and out of different friend groups, had a lot of different friends. I distanced myself over time, or like cut off, or vice versa, or whatever. Different friends over time, but some friends I happen to be friends with at the moment was one guy named Cody and his girlfriend and a kid named Mark, right? So uh, Cody's girlfriend is her name is Desiree. So Cody didn't go to that college. Cody is homeless. But his girlfriend and Mark go to my college. They were the year below me. And the reason why I kind of met them was because the girlfriend at the time I had happened to be like friends of friends with them, you know? So I would here and there hang out with like Cody and his girlfriend, or Cody and his girlfriend and Mark. And during that semester, it was called the Dark Ages among my friends and I. The reason why it was called the Dark Ages is because a lot of bad stuff happened to all of us. Uh, for me in particular, stuff that happened was like I had a really bad relationship at the time. She was insane. That's a story for another time. And I used just the most drugs I've ever done in my life during that time. And a lot of other bad stuff happened during that semester. So, what happened was I'll give you like the whole story and synopsis of what occurred with this friend, Cody. So, Cody was a nice, good kid. The reason why he was homeless, he was about my age at the time, so I think he was 20. And I think I was almost 21. Yeah, that's what it was. Um, and he would like sleep over at the buildings that were open for 24 hours. So like he would sleep on the sofas there or whatever, or he would sleep at that girl's dorm, his girlfriend at the time. Uh, that's how he was like kind of being able to survive. But it was getting closer and closer to winter. I met him like around October, I believe. But it was like over the months, it was getting colder, obviously, especially in Massachusetts where it can get really cold. That sucks for him. And in the city we're at, there's no homeless housing, only like during the day. Uh, and same with all the towns surrounding. The town where we were at happened to be the one with the most services for homeless people. But yeah, so it was difficult for him. That was the first time he was ever homeless. Uh, and he wasn't homeless starting since like only like a few months before then. And he's from a town that's a number of towns away. I think he's from like Braintree. That's like a town that's a few towns south of Boston. Um, so, or he's from Quincy. It's one of those two. But what happened was the reason why he was homeless was because his parents kicked him out because he and his stepdad did not get along at all and they got in a little tussle. But it was because the stepdad was very disrespectful and abusive towards him. So it sucks that a stepdad like that, an abusive stepdad like that, can take over a household like that and ruin the offspring's life like that, or make it harder. So he was a cool, nice kid. But one thing I probably shouldn't have done was I had a lot of I had too many excess drugs uh, on me. So I would share them a lot with friends or friends of friends or whoever I met at the time. So I would share excess supplies with him and his girlfriend and Mark um, and whomever. And it would be like chill lit experience. But at the same time, I shouldn't be providing that kind of stuff to them. But the only ones I provided, like that I gave them to keep of extra supplies, would be mild legal drugs. I would only do at the time, for the most part, I would try only to do legal, like ones that you're able to legally have, not prescription, but ones that you actually can legally have. Uh, that's usually what I would have and give away or whatever. Usually, not all the time. So, yeah. At the same time, it was like I felt kind of nice in giving that, but also I would give random snacks and random food here and there to Cody and his girlfriend, just out of generosity or whatever, and certain other like free stuff that I just did not need, like if I just didn't need an extra shirt or whatever. Um, but there was a point in time where he was banned from being on campus, and that can happen. That's happened to other friends that I have or had uh, that certain situations they did, whether it be minor or major, they got banned from campus. So, how Cody got banned from campus was the campus police, which are also state police, noticed that he was sleeping on the sofa there in one of the 24-hour open buildings. And from then on, they put a ban that he's not allowed to be on the campus. So that just made his life harder because his girlfriend dormed on campus and would help provide a place to stay. And at that point, it was getting quite cold because it was like December and like snow was starting to come in. It was just like a bad situation. So he was getting really depressive and everything. And so one day, he there's a footbridge right near the campus, and typically me, others, and whoever would go smoke whatever there. Me and friends would smoke legal drugs or weed there, versus other people would smoke weed there or cigarettes or whatever. And so that was like that kind of spot. But this kid, Cody, one day he was feeling quite suicidal. He was standing on that footbridge on the edge. He was about to jump off. The cops were called and they were there or whatever. It was campus police who are state police. And they were able to thankfully convince him to not do that. His life was saved by these police. So there ended up being an article about it in the paper. I don't think they provided his name, but they did identify the couple police officers who saved his life. So I feel bad for him. God bless him. I hope he's in a better place now. I haven't talked to him for years, but thankfully his life was saved. And after then, there was a sign that was put on the footbridge just saying like a suicide kind of hotline ad. And yeah, there were like multiple signs that were put there that just providing that kind of information for suicidal people. So it's good to give that kind of advocacy because whenever there's people that's suicidal or whatever, that's kind of a place they would kind of ponder is like, a footbridge that's above a highway, real high above a highway. They would maybe like be tempted and or pondering on potentially ending it then and there, you know? So, thankfully he was saved, and thankfully he was helped, and I hope that he got on a better, good path and things got better for him, hopefully. But that was my experience in friendship with him. Um, and yeah, so that was that story. Thank you for listening. Please check out my other stories. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.